So, Saurabh, you guys went into this very early, and what's interesting about India is that the big vehicle manufacturers, the Tatas, the Leylands, they didn't really get into electric buses. It was the bus builders, the body builders that started launching electric buses, the JBMs, PMI, Switch, as well as not Switch, the company in BYD, right, Electra. And what are the early issues that you faced? You must have had teething issues because everybody was learning. The bus builders were learning. You guys were learning. What sorts of teething issues did you face where you were like, oh my God, I wish I hadn't gone electric?
One of the things we realized is when we look at an electric bus, it's completely different from what we've been doing for the last 40 years, right? The way everything about it, the way we have to do preventive maintenance, the way we have to monitor the OBD, the data, the things which we need to monitor in order to make it efficiently run, training our staff to be able to do so. So training actually is something that we undermined. And like us, a lot of people undermined because the same mechanics which were doing ICE cannot touch an EV. They have no idea because suddenly the parts which they're used to are not there in that bus. So I think whether it's the driver, whether it's the mechanics, whether it's the supervisors, the first piece is to understand what this animal is, right? So because then you're talking about significantly lower number of components with completely different working logic. And then the second thing we realized is that charging a bus, right? In our head, we think that charging a bus is like charging a phone, which we realized it's not. And, the chemistry of the battery, the charging compatibility, whether it's a 2C. In fact, these terms 1C, 2C, we got to know much later after our first bus came in 2019. After that, we started learning and studying about that, etc. Right? So understanding and taking a deep dive into the technical details of the bus is something that we, in hindsight, could have done better. Training our people to operate them slightly better so you have low breakdowns is something that we thought we could have done better. And the third thing is, understanding compatibility on the charging front, about how we can, so how it's important to do a charging test so to make sure that a certain type of charger works with a certain type of OEM is important, because although all are CCS2, our assumption was CCS2 is CCS2, right? What can go wrong? But then the complexity of what is the power supply at that location, complexity of how those softwares talk to each other from the charger point, from the OEM point. So I think those things, because we don't understand it, gave us some sleepless nights for sure, because you always get scared of what you just don't understand. So the more you learn, the more you educate yourself, the more you bring in experts to do that. It takes away that pain. But the initial anxiety obviously came on account of these 2-3 things.